Hey Monster Hunter fans, this is SweetBattlescars, here to bring you another Monster Hunter video review. Today I'm going to be looking at this set of Monster Hunter hunting arms, and this is volume 4. This set includes mostly weapons from Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, although some of these pieces do make an appearance in Monster Hunter Tri. I'm going to be talking about each piece individually, and looking at each of these weapons, and the first thing to note is that each weapon comes with a modular base. These bases come together to form an octagon in order to create a display base for all of the pieces to be displayed together as so. So that's, I think, a pretty nice touch by Capcom. So I'm going to be talking about materials and paint, and there are a few things to note about this set. So let's take a look. So we're going to begin. One thing to note is that each of these pieces comes with a little card with the weapon's name here in the front, and then I'm assuming a little bit of trivia here in the bottom portion of the card, and with a nice picture and background of the weapon, little close up there in the background. And the back is just pretty standard, just Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, hunting arms, volume 4. But so each one of these comes with a little trivia card, I assume, and it's something that I haven't seen in the other sets before. I think this is the latest set of hunting arms, so I think they decided to maybe include a little trivia card for those people who actually know how to read Japanese. But to me, it's just a nice collectible item. So let's begin looking at the weapons individually. This here is the first piece we're gonna talk about. This is the Yukumu blade, or I'm sorry if I butcher any of these names. It's a little hard to try and pronounce Japanese, but this is the Yukumu blade, and it's pretty much one of the very first weapons you get in the game. One of the starter weapons. You get a set of weapons of each different type: long sword, great sword, bow, gun, lance, and so you can start practicing with each different type of weapon. So you get a whole set of these like wooden metal weapons, and this is the long sword in the set, and so it's a pretty nice piece for the most part. The paint is well done. One thing I have noticed is that this is the paint job is not as meticulous as other sets. I have noticed that some of the lines aren't as clean, but I mean, I can't complain. For the most part, it's been done pretty good. The first thing I will talk about though is the base. These bases are nice because they can come together into an octagon, and you can display the pieces all together, which is nice. But the material is really kind of delicate. It's a really thin plastic. It feels like it can break really easily, and so I was a little disappointed in that they didn't really pay more attention to these bases. And to me, the base is really important, as some of the weapons are top heavy and they tend to kind of fall off of the base. And this base doesn't have this problem, but some of the bases, the top part is a little loose. This attaches here in the bottom, so it's a little loose, and some of the weapons are a little heavy, so they keep falling off of the base. So I think this is my biggest complaint in this set. The bases aren't as well designed as in the bases in other sets. So I think they could have done a better job in these bases. But I mean, overall, it's an okay base. Just I think the choice of materials could have been a little better. But so this is the first weapon in the set, and we're gonna move on to one of the great swords in the game. This is the Jinuga great sword. It's made from materials that you get from Jinuga, and I think it's called the Storm Lightning. And this is a nice weapon in the game. It's a really nice piece, also really nice figure. It can the little jaws here, the little claws, can open and close. So I like that some of these weapons are mobile. You can kind of move them and play around with them. But again, for the most part, the paint job is okay. It's not impressive you can say, but it's well done. It's you know, rendered nicely for the most part. The colors are true. This is what it looks like in the game, but I think it could have been a little cleaner, a little crisper on this piece also. But overall, a pretty nice piece, and you get the standard base here. And so I think here you can see a close up of it, and it's got nice details, you know, all around. The scales, little metallic parts in the bottom, they're all good. So this is here the great sword. So let's move on, and we're gonna be looking at this a bow, and this is the Royal Ludwig Bow in Monster Hunter Portable Third. I've only seen that in that game, and I believe it's called the Sponge Gear. Again, since there is no official translation of this game yet, I can only go by online sources. So I think this is what they call it in the several websites, the Sponge Gear. And this is one of the most impressive pieces in the set. It's detailed really nicely. It comes in several pieces, but again, it's really delicate. It falls apart if you kind of touch it, but I mean, from its base, not that the piece falls apart. But it's a nice bow. It comes with a nice arrow that you can kind of put in the middle there, and you see here, this is string, so you can actually get the effect of the bow kind of stretching. This top part moves to adjust the string, and the arrow is really flexible to make sure that you don't end up breaking pieces off of it, or you can break it in half. So I think that's nice that they give you flexible plastic for some of these really thin pieces. The bone itself is nicely detailed. The paint job is nice. The pieces are all put together nicely. The movement of the parts is nice, and it flows nicely. And nice piece all around. One thing also about this set in particular is some of the textures aren't as defined. Like some of the scales here in the claws that you can see. I've seen really nice details in other pieces, in other sets, whether it's in monsters or in weapons. But I think here they look a little lazy. I think they could have dialed in some of those details a little better. But again, I think I'm being nitpicky. It's a nice set all around, and this is a nice weapon. With the little pouch to put your arrows in. Nice piece here. And that's the bow, and I think it's one of the pieces that you can get pretty early in the game. Once you defeat Royal Ludra, you can start acquiring parts for that weapon in particular. But let's move on here, and this is a hunting horn, which is a type of weapon that is not in Monster Hunter Tri, but is in Monster Hunter Portable Third, and has made a comeback also in Monster Hunter Tri G for the 3DS. But this is called a bear horn hunting horn, and it's a long name, and it's made from parts from Ashura. And this weapon is really nice. This piece here, the gold paint on it is, as in other pieces and in other sets, it's really nice. The color is really nice. You can get that faux metallic finish on it. This also has a nice piece of string here, and this string feels really sturdy. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break at any time, so I think that's well made. This one here, though, I really think the paint job could have been done a lot better. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but some of the details here in the handle are just kind of sloppy. I think they could have defined those a little better, and on the sides too. I think it could have been a little better here, in particular around the spikes. This plastic is a little different. It doesn't feel like PVC. It feels like that same plastic that they use to make the bases. But the handle itself feels like more like the normal PVC that I'm used to seeing in Monster Hunter figures. But so they do, use several materials to render these pieces, and I mean, it doesn't feel like it's gonna break, but I think that they weren't consistent with their materials in this one here. But overall, I'm happy to have this piece. Nice piece, nice colors. Goes nicely on its base. This is actually one of the ones that's giving me a little problem. The base, the little rest here is kind of loose, so it kind of tends to fall over sometimes.